Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Yes, indeed, a brand new day. The globe continues to spin around the sun continues its journey through space as we whip around the center of the galaxy itself continues its journey through space. The whole local cluster, we're traveling toward the great attractor, and there's vast webs of matter throughout the universe that are also moving in different directions. Welcome to the world. Thumbs up. I mean, we are haunted meat. We are meat that runs by electricity. We are ghosts in a cockpit piloting a bone mech that is powered and armored by meat. None of life makes sense. Welcome to the world. It's beautiful. It is awesome, and I love it. As well as being depressed and living in grief and all of that. But, hey, the dichotomy of life. And of course, front load the video. Thank you, YouTube algorithms. Hey, if you could toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that'd be very cool. If you could also subscribe to the channel if you like what you hear and see, that too would be awesome. I do enjoy comments, and I try to push through my executive dysfunction as much as I can to answer those comments. So if you could leave me a comment, that'd be very cool. And I do want to thank my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are indeed beautiful and awesome. They really are. It is true. I am on disability. I cannot work. I broke my back. Not literally broke my back, but my back is so injured I can barely do anything at all with it, even normally, even 20 years afterward, from chronic pain and fatigue and injury. Ugh. Without the help of these people, it would be bad, so thank you all. Front loading over. Yay! It is not raining. It wasn't raining last night. It was a nice night, foggy, but it was nice. And it's not raining now. It's still foggy, and that's good. And on the, oh my gosh, I am so glad about this front, Amelia, my kitty cat, is doing better. She's not where she was before, but I started feeding her actual cans of tuna fish, because before she would lick up just the juice of food, and then that's it. And then she would drink a little bit of water. She would drink over the course of like 3 days what she would normally drink in a day. But then I started just feeding her tuna fish with a lot of, extra fluid and stuff in it, because it comes packed, in water. And she started, slowly being able to eat almost an entire can. So now she's almost up to a full can on it, and she's drinking water, and she's being more active. So whatever it was, she's doing a lot better. We're not out of the woods, and of course she's a much older kitty cat, but she's doing better, and thank goodness for that. She's much more active. Nowhere near as active as she used to be. She doesn't go up into the window anymore. She barely moves around. She doesn't climb up onto stuff anymore. She just finds places on the floor and sleeps there. But, she's doing better, so that's good. That's good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Past that, taking a look on my topics list here, past that, not a whole lot has been happening. As it has stopped raining, the flooding has gotten slightly better, but a lot of the flooding here too is we get a lot of the stuff from the mountains. And up in the mountains, they had a lot of snow, a lot of rain just in a short period of time. So no snowpack for the future, just short-term impact. And so most of our streams and such are still just mega overloaded because there's just all this water coming out of the mountains still. So at least it's getting better on the short term. Hopefully it's gonna stay better on the long. And then oddly enough, there's a tsunami alert for like the west coast of the United States. Apparently some kind of volcano exploded. Now, even though I'm on the west coast of the United States, in fact, we're a port town, it's just Washington State, there's a peninsula here, and then there's what's known as the Sound, and we're down here on the inside of the Sound. We're not on the coast, so we're port on water, but we're not on the actual ocean side of the water. Thumbs up on that. But yeah, I've been walking and I've actually been feeling pretty good. I have had no blood coming out of any portions of my body where, blood should be coming out, which is like nowhere really, and that's good. The pains that I have, still need to get some checked out, and I'm still working on getting that done. In some cases, I have made phone calls. I just need to make follow-ups. So largely I'm feeling pretty good and nothing horrible is happening physically. Mentally, we're coming up out of the big trough that I hit with, my SADs being bad, along with the holidays never being good, and then the deaths of everybody that was, close to me. I still have my sister, and that's good. I got a half brother, and my actual genetic father is still out there, but I've tried contacting them again through Messenger and stuff and gotten nothing back, so I don't know what's going on. Yay. Still though, I am existing and doing my very best, and excuse me, and that is a very, very good thing. Little Ghost is doing well. He climbs all around and jumps about, and he doesn't jump, he climbs around and chews on stuff, and I let him run around on me in my lap, and sometimes I'll set him down on the floor so he can go sniffing around and doing stuff. And he's a happy little guy. He's a mature little guy too, so he's probably only got about another year maximum before old age takes him, but still, he's doing well. Past that though, I've been trying to think about other things, and I have been doing so. And the other things, of course, that I've been thinking about are the creative stuff for the project that I am working on, and that is good. I've got some cryptid stuff that I've been thinking all about. I've got a whole bunch of things that I want to talk about still about the King in Crimson, because some of the parts of the King in Crimson I still can't get an actual visual hold on. I'm not quite sure what their whole body sort of thing looks like. Nothing is gelling, and I'm not sure. I know they have the mask, and there's a human face behind this mask, and the mask, it looks like it's porcelain or china, but it physically changes, and has exaggerated facial expressions, and even behind that you can see the King in Crimson's exaggerated facial expressions. But yeah, an actual human face behind the mask. Now, the body is not human. Uncanny Valley. They do make some concessions to try to not thoroughly freak people out, because they are, after all, a king, the ruler, and they do have a deep empathy and affection for humanity, so they're trying not to freak people out too much. On the other hand, you have to meet them halfway. So they make efforts to be humanoid, not a whole lot to be human, especially when you become more part of the inner circle of they trust you. A normal person just seeing them would not see this. But if you were one of the people that could enter into one of their governmental chambers as they were looking down on the city in a private moment, you would. Where it would be like the King in Crimson is looking down on the city below, one hand up on a support, leaning down to look through the window of like 10, 20 stories up, and just looking down through the window, legs apart, leaning on a support. And then, as they're doing that, they would just straighten back up, lower their hand down, and then the person that they're talking to would just see I've mentioned before how the head and such of the King in Crimson is very uncanny valley, because when they turn to look at you, it's not like a head on the neck. It's like a ball with a stick through it, and it swivels on the center with the mask on it. So someone would see this person, individual, leaning up against the window, and then come up to a more standing position. The head and mask would just go, wow, face this direction toward them, and they were leaning and looking out the window. But now with just the face turning and looking in your direction, a complete 180, they start walking toward you. They didn't turn. The head just moved to the other side of their body, the face, and now they're walking toward you. Their body is not human at all. But as stated, they do have a deep and abiding affection for humanity. And aside from the bits of the human face behind the mask, you can't see the body. The body is covered by some sort of odd, I don't know if it's a covering or clothing. And then they wear velvet gloves and they have velvet slippers. So you can't see what their body looks like aside from their face. The other parts, the things that I've been working on, is all the cryptid energy and how people can interact with it and what we see. I figure it is as an energy quite like the other type of energy needing the different receptor. We have the handshake receptor, for the color lavender. If you're on the inside, you have the receptor and transmitter for the singing human note soprano. So we don't match up like that. You just can't interact unless you have the site, the extra universal chromosomes that allow you to see and interact with that. The cryptid energy has like the smell of cinnamon as its handshake protocol, and it's easier, whereas 90% of humanity does not have the sight and cannot interact with anything from the inside at all. I figure about 80% of people can interact with cryptid energy because it's not just a simple binary you can or you can't. Except it's more, when you have this lower sense, you feel dread and fear and terror. And that builds up as your sense of that cryptid energy gets stronger until you can begin to see and interact with the cryptids. You have cryptid sight. Some people have this so strongly that they can really interact with others on the cryptid scale. And some of these people have this cryptid sight so strongly that they are mortally offended by that various type of cryptid. And they can make objects. So I figure, like 200-300 years ago, there was this person with a strong cryptid sight who knew how to make things, and someone in their family was badly injured, killed, murdered, eaten by a werewolf-type cryptid. And this person makes a sword. And tying this strong sight, it warps the cryptid energy into the sword so that now, 300 years later, imagine you're just a regular person, 23 years old. Suddenly you transition into a werewolf-type cryptid, and you find out you're a 13th type of cryptid. You have to eat human beings to survive. That's a shocker. And then 6 months into it, somebody comes up to you and they are fanatic with their hatred and they have a sword and they call it Spell Singer. Human beings can see this thing glow brighter as it gets close to the type of cryptid it hates. They can hear it hum as they get closer until in the presence of this specific type of cryptid it was made to kill, human beings hear it singing. They can see it glowing brightly. The cryptids, though, that have to do that, so you're 6 months into this, you've been having to devour human beings to survive on your own, and here comes a person with this sword, and they are fanatical in their hatred of you, and their sword to them looks to be singing and glowing to your cryptid sight. That glow is like a police car spotlight shone right into your eyes, and no matter what you do, you can't get it out of your eyes, so you can't really see clearly with it there. And it's not singing, it is shrieking. It is shrieking its hatred and desire to drink your soul. And this person wielding it is telling you about Spell Singer, and how all they need to do is nick their skin with it, just enough to draw one drop of blood. And Spell Singer will drink their soul. Imagine being the person hearing that with that thing facing you. And yeah, it drinks your soul, but in terms of what's happening, if you get cut enough that you can bleed, the energy just arcs into your nervous system, and that cryptid energy just blasts along every single nerve in your entire nervous system, and the secondary blast that burns out every single nerve cell in your nervous system. You go like that. All they have to do is nick you with it. Also in these terms, this sword has become so powerful in these ways that it is dangerous. Normal people that try to take care of cryptids and things like this in the world, it's too dangerous. It warps you. If a cryptid of that kind comes around, it will warp your mind. You will want to get it and go take out that cryptid. It is far too dangerous an artifact. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. Yay! Thank you each and every person that does. Anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, with my depression, fibromyalgia, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm still slowly getting better, but slowly. We have Haley Laura. Hey, good to see you in the comments, and hopefully you will read the comment that I left in reply. And Confused Owl 29, they are so, oh my thumbnails. Oy vey. Stephen Blanchard, thumbs up and thank you. I keep forgetting to write stuff down, and when I do write it down, I forget to look at the list. It's joyous. Addie, thumbs up and thank you. THALLYS Jr., and it's I forgot to translate that, but thank you very, very much. We have Ryan Carter, thumbs up. Favel, good to see you in the comments. Ben B, it is good not to get soaked while walking. Tech Wexec, thumbs up and thank you. Wesker the Baker, greatly appreciated. And 10 people left me comments in the past 24 hours. And that popped while I was using my hand, but now it's clicking and sticking and hurting. Joy. But thank you, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated to no end. Definitely a thumbs up. I don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't even know if you can see the text description for the video, but if you can, inside there are links to all of my various channels. If you could check those out, that'd be cool. I also have links to like my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I do wish to thank each and every one of these Patreon patrons, these beautiful and awesome people, as they literally help keep me and my pets alive. The cost of everything is going up so much. After I pay my rent and such, I don't even have enough money to pay for my bills or my medicine, or even enough money to eat for a full month. I don't even know how long I should be keeping my hands up. If I've got text over my face, I'm sorry, and if I kept them down up way too long, then sorry again there too. But thank you, each and every one of you, to no end. Now, if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal link. If you could toss me any spare change you have, I'm not above grubbing for that, and you got next to nothing, anything helps. And there's a Amazon wish list link if you'd like to help me out with that, because there's cat food. I'm going to put tuna on there as well, just, for my kitty cats that maybe she'll eat that. And there's a plushie, so if someone could grab that, that'd be awesome. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or you do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation you get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be awesome as well. Thank you very, very much, each and every one of you who does so. The moment I take off my sleep apnea mask in the morning, I clog up, which is apparently pretty common. You're breathing filtered air and then suddenly you're not. So, yay. Of course, try to seek creativity, positivity, and balance in your life. These are not the only foundations of a good existence. Of course, there are many, many others, but it's a good start and not a bad one either. And, of course, please, with the Covfefe bug raging, all the variants out there, if you don't have to, please do not go out amongst the unmasked, unvast, mouth-breathing masses. If you have to, please wear a mask, maintain your social distancing, try not to touch your face, wash your hands often. If you haven't, get the vax. If you can, get the booster. Hokey smokes. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, quite frankly. And that is a very good thing. Definite thumbs up on that.